I'd like to introduce to some and present to others Kerry James Marshall. Kerry James Marshall was a post-war abstract expressionist born in 1955 in Birmingham, Alabama, and was educated at the Otis Art Institute in Los Angeles, from which he received a BFA and an honorary doctorate in 1999. Marshall lived in Alabama through the climax of the Civil Rights Movement in 1963, when Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was arrested for demonstrating against segregated lunch counters and restrooms, and wrote his famous letter from the Birmingham jail. It was the Birmingham police chief, Eugene Bull Connor, who set police dogs and fire hoses against peaceful demonstrators that spring. And it was in Birmingham, after King negotiated a desegregation plan with city officials, that his hotel was bombed, followed by the bombing of the 16th Street Baptist Church, in which 4 children died. These events provided the impetus behind the scenes series of major paintings by Marshall, his quote-unquote souvenirs, in which the artist eulogized great black artists, musicians, and writers, as well as heroes of the civil rights movement, especially King, John F. Kennedy, and Robert Kennedy. In the paintings in this series, Marshall used glitter in the way that gold leaf was used in medieval religious paintings, but also in a tradition of high effect decoration in Afro-American aesthetics, and he transformed the dignified black woman in these stable middle-class interiors into angels with wings, tending the rituals for mourning for these deceased great figures and for the lost momentum of the movement itself. One never sees black pinup girls, the generally white stereotype of curvy girls in bathing suits, that are the stuff of car repair shop calendars, so Marshall painted a series of them, and at the time explored new ground formally by painting the figure in black on black. The result is quite startling. A powerful female, nude with a large afro hairstyle, head turned coquettishly, which means flirtish. She straddles a giant afro pick, which is topped with a black power fist. The foreshortening of the right leg and the unstable tilt of the comb lend a dramatic dynamism to the composition. The delicate pink dots of nail polish on the toes echo the backdrop of glistening stars to convey a delicate eroticism set off against awesome power. In 1999, Marshall embarked on a superhero comic strip for the Carnegie International Exhibition in Pittsburgh. As a child, he loved the comics and followed the adventures of Jack Kirby's Fantastic Four, but was disappointed to find no black superheroes. The hero of Marshall's comic is Rhythm Master, a black superhero whose drumming brings to life African ancestral figures in a museum. They, in turn, have superpowers which are brought to bear on the perpetrators of crime in stories set against daily life in the ghetto. Just as Marshall's representation of black figures in his paintings is formally unprecedented in the rich depths of the black pigment itself, these comics break new formal ground as well. Marshall, one of the greatest draftsmen of the turn century, makes a sophisticated appropriation of the language of action comics with dramatic foreshortening, narrative styles of lettering, the interplay of text and image within the frame, the strong graphic character of his line played off against the inking, the bold contrast of line and tones, and the use of framing to both contain and be transgressed in dialogue with the imagery.